it's Nev from Catfish, and I'm here with MTV News journalist and true life crime host Dometi Pongo. And we're about to show you an unaired clip from True Life Crime involving the case of Britney Cosby and Crystal Jackson.
In which you'll see footage of a forensic interview with Crystal's daughter, Zaniah, who was 5 years old at the time, about what she saw the day her mother and her mother's girlfriend were murdered.
Would you come sit right here for me? Would you like to color?
Can you explain why investigators wanted to interview Zaniah?
They had to talk to her because she was actually in the vicinity when her mom was murdered. Britney and Crystal were planning to take her to school that morning. And investigators wanted to know what Zaniah heard the day that her mom was killed.
Zaniah, what is the first thing you do when you get to school?
Eat breakfast.
Eat breakfast. And then what happens after you eat breakfast?
What was interesting to me was, if you notice, Zaniah's drawing. And, you know, I was asking around and trying to figure out why the forensic interviewer had her draw. Well, it's to keep the child at ease and to make them more comfortable. The fact that she has to go through this exercise with this child before she talks about this deeply traumatic event that this child is still talking about with this childlike innocence. It's this weird juxtaposition.
Tell me everything that happened from that morning to the time you went to sleep.
The morning when I was getting ready for school at nighttime, my mama was in the car, me and her, and my mama said, stay in the car, and I stayed in the car. I said I was taking my mom so long, so I went in there to find out, but nobody was in there.
You said when you were sitting in the car you heard something?
Yeah, it was like going like zzz. Like somebody was lasering somebody.
Like somebody was what?
Lasering.
Tell me who all was at that house when you were there going to sleep.
It was just me and her mama, and I forgot the other boy name.
The other boy's name?
That's Britney's brother.
Britney's brother.
The person who lives there is actually Britney's dad, but probably not much of an authority figure, but two people who seem like equals, at least to a child who was watching from afar.
You don't remember Britney's brother's name? Is he big like me or little like you?
He's tall.
He's tall.
It's unclear exactly what she saw, but there are a few things that are key right here. She places James at the scene, right? So we know that James was there. So her interview, her testimony, helped to corroborate what police would later find out.
Did you ever see blood in his room? Tell me where you saw the blood.
There was blood splatter in his room. He just decided to kill my mother and his daughter.
Okay, tell me where the blood splatter was in his room.
On his bed.
You saw it on his bed? Okay, did you see it anywhere else?
On his floor.
And some on his floor? Did you ever hear anything from his room? Tell me everything you heard from his room.
A gunshot.
You heard a gunshot. Tell me how you know it was a gunshot.
Because he just, in his room, he just said, bang. He took them to outside and just shoot them.
Okay, did somebody tell you that or did you see that?
I see that.
What we now know is she probably heard the sound of the gun that took her mother's life. Her interview at 5 years old was the glue that brought it all together.
Now, I know you recently met with Zaniah. How does she look back and think and feel about going through all that?
Yo, she was surprisingly optimistic. The hope that this little girl had, it'll just warm your heart. You know, I was very nervous about talking to her because I haven't talked to someone that young about something so traumatic. Yet, all she could talk about was how to look on the bright side. A lot of kids haven't been through some of the things that you've seen.
Yeah.
And have been through. How has it been kind of putting that behind you as you've been growing up throughout school?
I just have to think about it like a good way, you know?
How often do you think about Mom?
Almost every day.
Almost every day.
Cause like sometimes you're like, I wish she was here so we could do this, and like how it was when I was little and how she would treat me and all that kind of stuff.
Yo, what do you remember about the day you lost Mom?
I was going on a field trip.
You going on a field trip that day?
Yeah, I was going to the rodeo.
Wow, wow.
So that makes me remember that day even more because it's like, I go to the rodeo almost every year with my school. So it's like, today is the day that it happened.
Do you like going to the rodeo still, or?
I do.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, yo, me and my mom could have done this and I can pretend like she's there and we can just do the stuff there, you know?
That's so cool. I love how bright and positive you are about it, man. Oh, who's this guy?
Diamond.
It's your dog?
Yeah.
What kind of dog is she?
She's a Chihuahua Wiener dog mix.
Zaniah always wanted a dog. So someone that I worked with gave me the dog. And I named her Diamond because Diamond is forever. Just like Crystal. And Zaniah is crazy about the dog.